Hi, everyone. This has been an interesting week for sure. Earlier this week, I was given the Soul Emancipation Proclamation, and last night, I kept waking up with two words in my head, which was habeas corpus. Um, and I knew they were legal terms, but I have no clue what they meant. And it stuck with me all night. I woke up multiple times, and in the morning, I had to write it down and look up what the words actually meant. I know it came with a dream, but I cannot remember the dream for the life of me. I can only remember these two words. And so, doing a little digging into it this morning, I discovered that these Latin words translate to "you have a body," and it relates to a right in the US Constitution that if you are imprisoned or detained, that you have a right to go before the court or to request to go before the court to determine if your captors or the government or whoever it is that is detaining you has the power to actually imprison or detain you. And you can either do that on your own behalf, or you can people can do it on behalf of others. And I was like, why am I getting? I am not a lawyer. I have not done any training in law. It's not something that I would be pursuing in the 3D realm. But the first thought that came to my mind as I was sitting with this morning was, well, so just like all of us right now who are, in some form or another, feeling at least like we are being imprisoned in our own homes, right? Especially as we head into this new season and whatever it is that it's going to bring for us in that regard. And it's not just about being in isolation and being in our homes. It's all of these things that are going on for us right now. And I thought, oh, well, that's kind of interesting. As as you question, do the people who are making these decisions, do they actually have the power to do this to so many people around the world? I was like, oh, that's an interesting perspective, but still, oh, why would you give me this information? I'm not a lawyer, definitely not a constitutional lawyer. I don't even have friends who are constitutional lawyers, as far as I know. um, so, why are you giving me this information? And then I was shown, I have this spiritual practice that I have used a few times. The first time was in 2019. I think that's all I'm going to say about it for now. But I was traveling over in Scotland, and a friend of mine and I felt very called at that time to hold a spiritual court, and a court of the highest domain, a court with God, a court where the jury is the elementals, the earth elementals, the fairy elementals, the forest elementals, all of the beings who have inhabited a specific space, a specific part of the land, a specific part of the earth. So you could say it's like common law court for the spiritual realm, the spiritual aspects of ourselves. And my guide said, "Remember when you did that? That was going to court, but that was a spiritual court." And I thought, oh, okay. And so I sat with that a little bit longer, and then I said, "But you already had me emancipate myself. You had me do this, you know, weird, uncomfortable, awkward thing publicly. Not awkward, obviously, to do on a personal level, but um, I already proclaimed that my soul was emancipated and free and aligned with God. So if I'm a free soul, why would I need to pursue this habeas corpus idea in the spiritual court?" And they said, "Well, you have freed your soul, and you did that on your own behalf, and it is for each individual to emancipate their soul, to align their soul with God or whatever they choose to align with, but to remove themselves from being controlled by others." Now, this part, the habeas corpus, is for us to call to court on behalf of all of the other human souls on the planet, to ask this highest spiritual judge, creator, universal oneness, God, to ask, our peers in the spiritual world to sit as our jury, and to bring forth this question of whoever it is that is imprisoning, detaining, restricting humanity right now. Do they have the power to do that? And I'm not talking about, the actors, the figureheads that we're seeing on the media. I'm talking about the powers beyond them. And it's time, I think, for us to bring that forward in these spiritual courts, to show not so much to the universe, but in a way, but more importantly, to prove to ourselves as humanity that they do not have the power over us anymore, right? And when we think about the rightful place that humanity has in terms of serving the Creator, in terms of inhabiting the earth, and the role that we play in the universe, this does make a lot of sense, because in some ways we've been, I don't know that allowing is the correct word, but we, for lack of better terms, it's late, it's been a long day. We have been allowing whatever these forces may be to detain us, to imprison us. And so now's the time to step forward and bring them into the light, and bring them into the light of our highest supreme spiritual courts, and prove to ourselves and prove to the universe that we are free. We are free, and no one has the power to imprison us. Nobody does. So I'm going to just offer that out there. I know many of you probably already understand what that means. But in the next couple days, as we, walk through this period that it is, and it's, in some ways it feels like we're walking through the darkness now, but in some ways it doesn't, because there's all these beautiful moments too, but you can feel the energy of it, right? You can feel the pressure of it. So as you walk through the next couple days, as you move into meditation, you move into dream states, you just reflect on what's happening in the world or what's happening in your own personal life, is I ask you to invite in whatever name you have for God, Creator, the almighty judge of the universe, and to invite in the spirits who have been living and protecting the land around you. Think of, whether it's the earth elementals, water, fire, air, the fairy elementals, our ancestors who lived on this land, many years ago. Invite them in to bear witness to this moment, because they have been waiting for this moment just as much as we have. And ask them to stand with you and to support you as we bring this darkness fully into the light. And we prove that we are free and that we are powerful. I'd love to hear how that goes for you, or any insights you may have, if you feel called to do that. And anyone who may be interested in joining me in ceremony or meditation to do that in the next couple days, please let me know, because I would definitely be happy to connect with some others. It's always more powerful when we do this together. But even if we cannot meet in live time, I see a lot of you out there in the astral, and I know that we're working together even if we're unaware of it in our waking state. So thank you all for the courage and passion that you are using to put one foot in front of the other. And even when it might be difficult, know that there are some successes, and there is definitely some progress in where we're headed. I hope you have a beautiful evening, and love to you all.